Alright, what's good YouTube, and welcome to NPBA Week 4 Team Builder. Before the match today, we in CopenhagenGalaxy are going up against the Colchester Cobalions, coached by AaronTheBaron. And yeah, we definitely played against Aaron before, I think maybe even twice. I don't remember the records really, but just know it's going to be an interesting matchup with someone we played before. And I think what's going to make this battle very, very interesting is there's some stuff I kind of felt like I couldn't bring, while there are other stuff I wanted to bring, but maybe couldn't really fit on the team. And let's talk a little bit about Aaron's team. So his team consists of Landorus Incarnate, Annihilate, Greninja, Rotom Heat, Rillaboom, TINKATON, Dragalki, Lycanroc Dusk, Tornadus, Weirdeer, and Zangoose. So really, really scary team when it comes to the especially offensive mons and Landorus, Greninja, even Dragalki to some extent. Rotom Heat can even be a problem in some scenarios. But physically, offensively, it's pretty much like Annihilate, Lycanroc, which both really want to set up. Like, none of them are super, super great immediately breaking. Rillaboom can be annoying, but no Gragic Light Decision is not as big of a nuisance. It's still a pretty hard-hitting mon and can be annoying with like a sub-lead Seek Taunt set or something like that. So it's definitely interesting to see what we're going to go up against here. Now, I had to jump through a little bit of hoops to kind of hope I have a way of dealing with Lando / Greninja. And we're actually going to see a set this week we also kind of brought very similarly last week, just so we can deal with the Landorus. But I guess we can go into our own team first, and then we can talk about it when we reach there. So first up on our team this week, we have Mega Hydra. So no, it's not going to be Golden Go, because I actually don't think Golden Go is that good this matchup. Kind of loses to pretty much all of our opponent's offense, and Landorus, Annihilate, Greninja, even Rotom beats it. He doesn't have the great switch-ins, I will say that. Like, he has Rotom. Rotom is a pretty good switch-in, like a Spadef Rotom. But at the same time, I would have to run like a Trishkav Golden Go, which I don't really run that the third time this week, third time in a row. So I opted to bench it to open up the opportunity for some of our other offensive mons to maybe shine a little bit. And first up, we have Mega Hydra, which is just gonna be heavy duty boot, because it fits in like a really weird speed tier where it outpaces Landorus but is slower than both Torn, Lycan, and Greninja. But we're gonna run U-turn, Hurricane, Knockoff, and Earth Power, 56 in HP, 2v2 in Special Attack, and 200 speed with Timidation. This is really good in just coming in against stuff like a Rillaboom that's maybe kill something, or maybe I predict like a Rillaboom come in, threatening out with a Hurricane, we can knock off like an item. Earth Power is just coverage for the Tinkaton. We have, what's it called? Actually, I should probably throw Flamethrower on this, I just realized. Well, Earth Power is also really good for like Lycanroc. Even though most scenarios, if we're in against Lycanroc, I'm probably just gonna die or switch. So I guess you could run Flamethrower. But I'm running Knockoff as my Dark Stab because I'm gonna Hurricane the Annihilate anyway, and Dark Pulse isn't the greatest here anyway, so just running Knockoff as like a way to remove items seems very nice. Speed creeping the Landorus is pretty standard. Next up, we have what I hope can be the win count this week. In Rook, the Azelf with Twisted Smooth, Levitate, U-turn, Side Shock, Flamethrower, and Mystical Power. 32 in HP, 2v2 in Special Attack, and 224 in Speed with Timid Nature. So Mystical Power is a new Psychic Attack move that the Lake Trio got, so Azelf, Yuxi, and Mesprit, which base 70 with 90% accuracy, 100% chance to raise the user's special attack. So we can kind of just get rolling. His Psychic answer is Greninja or it's a Tinkaton, but Tinkaton already want to kind of switch into Hydreigon to our Iron Juggler if he does bring it. If he doesn't bring Tinkaton, he doesn't really switch into our Rook that much. Yeah, we can't hit really the Greninja at all, but I also don't think I would ever stay in against the Greninja, right? This is meant to be a after we kill the Greninja kind of scenario. Plus Greninja is just faster than us anyway. I didn't bring a way to boost speed on this thing, so it wouldn't really matter that much. So that's why we're running it like this. Like, if I'm staying in on a Greninja, I might as well click U-turn, I guess, at that point. But yeah, I hope this can win, because after we take down the Greninja, this has a good chance of being the fastest thing, and it can just kind of roll that from there. Now, if Lycanroc is there, we have to always be sure we are without Accelerock range, of course. Next up, we have Roadrunner, the Galarian Zapdos with Trishkav, Defiant, U-turn, Brave Bird, Close Combat, and just Stomping Tantrum, because it's like the best. Like, Stomping Tantrum is super effectively on Tinkaton, but I actually still think Close Combat does more. And I just think Trishkav this is pretty good. I don't think he will bring Trishkav Landorus. He could, but I don't think so. And this will then outspeed like a Annihilate that is Trishkav, though I do think if he comes with it, it's going to be like a bulk upset potentially. Which is why we have both Mega Hydra and Rook, like our Azelf, to kind of beat that, like a bulk upset of Annihilate. Yeah, I just think Trishkav is best here. Like, it threatens out a Greninja in most cases. We can Brave Bird a lot of things, because like, again, Tinkaton is like his best. Like, that Tinkaton has to do a lot. And if he brings physically defensive, like if he brings physically defensive Rotom, that's good on him, because I didn't bring Golden Go, but I do think Rotom comes potentially specially defensive to deal with Golden Go. So I think Choice Scarf Roadrunner is really good this week. Next up, we have Spindwin, the Glamour with Black Sludge, Toxic Debris, Power Gem, Dazzling Gleam, Spikes, and Stealth Work, 240 in HP, 2 in defense, and 8 in special attack. So I thought about running a little bit of speed in this, and then I realized that I would have to run max speed to outspeed a Rillaboom, and I don't think that's worth it. So just running max defensive to take like a hit from an Iolab, hoping that thing doesn't run a ground move. Like, I'm literally just hoping. I'm not even gonna lie. I could run like a Sugar Berry on this to guarantee live a hit, because I'm pretty sure even at +1 we would guarantee live a close combat. I would have to like recheck that, but I think we do. And like D-Gleam does decent damage. I don't need this to kill the Annihilate. I just needed to be able to like hit it so we can put it within range of either Azelf or the Iron Jugglist. Annihilate does not get Shadow Sneak. I'm pretty sure I did check that. It does not get Shadow Sneak, so we will outspeed it and be able to kill it with those mons. Next up, we have Seymour, the Houndstone, actually running the AV Fluffy variant again. Well, Fluffy is what I'm always going to run because I don't have Sand. But AV again because I need something that can take a hit from Landorus. And with Landorus not getting knockoff anymore, AV uses a lot better against it. Now, Landorus is still going to fucking hurt my face. It's going to hurt so much. I'm pretty sure we take exactly 2 Earth Powers, I think. But if hazards are up, it's more of like a roll, I think. So we're running Ice Fang, Play Rough, Nightshade, and Shadow Sneak. 240 in HP, 8 in defense, 252 in special defense. Literally just, you know, max Spadef with careful, like max Spadef, careful AV, just to take hit. It also means we can take a hit from like a Greninja and potentially Play Rough it. We have Play Rough so we can hit like Annihilate, Greninja. Shadow Sneak is just good priority. Ice Fang is of course to hit the Landorus. And Nightshade is actually really just a good generic move to hit because it does it's the basic Seismic Toss for like ghost types, right? So it does exactly 100 damage because we're playing at level 100 damage. It does damage equal to the user's level, so it's just a good way to like guarantee get some damage off. If we had that last week, we probably would have been able to maybe beat the God of War in some extent, because we would have gotten consistent damage on it. And lastly, we have another newcomer to the team. So last team we introduced our Houndstone. This week we're going to introduce Caked Up, the Appleton with Leftovers, Thick Fat, Apple Acid, Dragon Tail, Recover, and Leech, 240 in HP, 8 in defense, and 252 in special defense. So this is kind of our secondary Spadef check. It can help Rotom, help with Greninja. I know Greninja gets Ice Beam, but we do lift a 2 Life Orb Ice Beam from a Greninja, and if it's Choice Specs and he guesses the Ice Beam, it is what it is, but then I can swap into like, what's it called, Houndstone, because I know it's not, well, actually it will be Stab because it has the Protean booth. I kind of forgot that a little bit, but yeah. This should be able to take 2 Life Orbs Ice Beam from a Greninja, and U-turn, while it will hurt, is still not the worst thing, but yeah, I don't have mons for the special side, like Quagsire I don't think is that good at this matchup. Like Rillaboom annihilates it, Landorus and Greninja both do so much damage to it. I could run like a Water Absorb, but Greninja gets like goddamn Grass Knot, so that's just why I don't do it. So yeah, that's the team this week. It's very like weak defensively, I think strong offensively. I think our offense can overwhelm him just as much as his offense can overwhelm us. So I think it's going to be 50-50 about who can get it in first. But yeah, if you like the video so far, make sure to leave a like on the video, leave a comment down with your thought of the team build, and subscribe to the channel for future videos. I'm now heading to the battle, so peace, YouTube. Alright, what's good, YouTube? Gentlemen, Thomas here with NPBA Week 4 battle. We are going up against AaronTheBaron, coach of the Colchester Cobalions. And as you can see here, this is going to be a replay. So, I unfortunately hit a button during the match that made my, what's it called, overlay go over like the match, so you can't actually see anything. I'll show you a quick clip so you can see it happening. If you don't want to see what the match is like midway through, skip ahead about 10-15 seconds. But yeah, I'm gonna quickly show now. So as you can see here, I accidentally hit it, and my it did this. Okay, so yeah, there's nothing much I can do. We're gonna go over with a replay real quick with what the match was like. So by the way, against Aaron's team, I was pretty confident in some mons coming. I think Tinkaton and Dragalge was like the two biggest the two biggest surprises. No, Rotom Heat was a little bit weird considering Goldango, but I didn't bring Goldango because too much of our opponents' offensive threats and Landorus and Iolab, Greninja and stuff like that kind of just beat it. So I didn't want to bring him. Now, he leads Tornadus and I lead Zapdos. I decide to switch out our Galarian Zapdos here. We are Choice Scarf on Galarian Zapdos. I think so. Wow, I have to remember the sets now. With Choice Scarf, but I decided to hard swap because I didn't kill him. and I didn't want to risk anything, like this can be prankster and whatnot. So we're just going to Glamora. Glamora is like pretty decent switch in here because it doesn't get any ground moves. We can just come in, set up some, I think we set up some stealth rocks here. Because I decided stealth rocks are a little bit better because I want to be able to chip the landers and the tornadoes in case it's not heavy duty boots. And spikes does pretty much the same to all of the monsters except TINKATON. That rocks does pretty much the same to all the monsters except TINKATON. That rocks do. Now here he sets up rocks on my hard switch to Galarian Zapdos. I went Galarian Zapdos because I thought his best move to hit Glamora with would be what's it called, Drill Run, or a potential close combat, which we would either be immune or resist with a Galarian Zapdos. I go back into Glamora because I expect the rock move. I get Toxic Debris up, which is pretty nice. Now he did get a crit with Stone Edge, which actually does end up marrying a little bit because I think we would have taken one more. Had it not been from the crit, I think, because he's not, as it turns out, he's not like Life Orb or anything, he's not boosted. I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be lead Lycanroc. Now he goes for the Accel Rock to chip us a little bit. I went for Stomping Tantrum because I expected Tinkaton or Dragalge to potentially come in, and I wasn't too scared of him hard swapping into Torn or Orlando. Now I do end up biting the bullet a little bit because that gives him free tornadoes, but I do have our Houndstorm we can go into here. He misses a Bleak Wind, which is pretty nice. You know, Bleak Wind just, whoops, wrong button. Bleak Wind basically just turn Hurricane 2.0. It also misses just as much, pretty much. But yeah, he hard swaps into Tinkaton. I Nightshade because Nightshade is the best like neutral move we have. He knocks off, which I knew this thing got knocked off, and I knew he was probably going to run it, but I didn't want any other item to get knocked off. We have Choice Scarf on Gyarados, we have Boots on Iron Jugglers, and the Rocks off, so I didn't want to lose them. Aself with which was Twisted Spoon, I didn't want to lose that, plus it would be super effective. And I didn't want to lose the, I think we are, no, I can't remember. I think we might be leftovers on our Appleton, but this is a fairy type, so why would I ever swap it in, you know? So I kind of just decide here at this point that Houndstone isn't that useful, so I just keep going hitting. I tried to go for Play Rough because it was like a neutral move. I thought he may go like Greninja on a Nightshade or something like that. So I tried to go for the Play Rough, predicting Greninja. He didn't. He then just hits me with a Gigaton Hammer. I go into Aself, just kill him with the Flamethrower. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. He now goes into Dragalge. He absorbs the spikes. And I knew Dragalge was the Terramon. Like, don't get me wrong, I knew 100% that Dragalge was the Terramon. I didn't think he was gonna Terra. Like, I don't know why I didn't think about it, because I was like, why would you go this? This is free setup for Aself at this point. So I go for the Psyshock because that's the hardest thing we can hit the Dragalge with, and he goes Terra Ground, and that means he both gets to absorb the Toxic Spikes and becomes not immune or anything, but isn't weak to our Psyshock. And I just didn't think, like, I knew this was the Terra. I can literally just look at the document or look at the team builder and whatnot. Yeah, we take out the Dragalge. I decide to just sack Aself at this point because Greninja is faster and we don't OHKO the Lando or the Torn. Now, Torn does show to not be Boots, so Aself would have been better for that because it outspeeds this thing normally, but realistically, Iron Jugglers or Appleton, I think, can both take a hit and pretty much take it out. Now, this scenario, as soon as I swapped into Galarian Zapdos, I immediately regretted it because I realized, wait, if he's not Heavy Duty Boots, he's not a Life Orb, what is he? He turns out to be Choice Scarf. He's Choice Scarf Tornadoes, which actually does make sense because it outspeeds pretty much all of my monsters wanted to be Choice Scarf, like Iron Jugglers, Galarian Zapdos, if I was Choice Scarf Goldango. The only thing would be Choice Scarf Aself, which Choice Scarf Aself definitely could have been a thing this game. I don't think it's terrible by any means. But yeah, no, his Tornadoes hits me with a Bleak Wind. I now miss Hurricane. I guess that's like fair for what he did. But that does end up mattering a little bit just because I would have gotten a more free switch to Appleton if I because if I kill this and he then goes like, let's say Greninja and Ice Beam me, I at least have a somewhat free switch to our Appleton to take out the Greninja afterwards. But he misses the Bleak Wind at least, so that's kind of fair, you know, it evens out. I Dragon Tail, right? Because I only have Apple Acid and Dragon Tail as my two offensive moves. He lives on 26%. 26! I'm pretty sure that was like a somewhat low roll. Like, I'm pretty sure it would have done, so between somewhere that he would have landed between 27 and 22, I think, so it was somewhat of a low roll. And that ends up mattering a lot, as you'll see in a little sec. But he hits me with the Ice Beam, which I kind of figured he would. I Apple Acid, you know, take out the Greninja, take the kills we can. And he gets to go into his Tornadoes again, which lives on 1%. But he does miss. So yeah, you know, we do end up getting the 1 kill more here. Now, this is a very interesting situation, because if he does not have Sludge Wave here, I actually have a very good chance of winning, because Ableton, if he doesn't have Sludge Wave, I can just recover on him, which is what I did click. But it turns out he has, well, Sludge Bomb, because this thing doesn't get Sludge Wave anymore, it only gets Sludge Bomb, which is really, really weird to me. But yeah, if he didn't have that, we actually probably could have won with Ableton. Ableton would have been the warrior we always wanted. But, you know, he did have Sludge Bomb for it, which is just good prep. So we take a 0-1 loss, which I'm not too unhappy about. I think I could have played slightly better, especially giving up the Galarian Zapdos. But I actually think Trishscarf Tornadus was just really good bring on his part. Because Trishscarf Galarian Zapdos is really good in this matchup, and he knew that, so he just decided to go with something that can revenge against it always. I will give prep to myself. Prep. No, not prep. I don't know what I'm saying. I will give credit to myself that getting Stealth Rocks up over Spikes with Glamora definitely ended up being the correct choice, because he wasn't heavy duty boosting Tornadus, which meant he has a very limited switch-ins with that thing. Yeah, we definitely have to try and see if we can bounce back a little bit with our NPBA team. I'm not like 100% happy with how the team is performing, but I also fully realize that I don't think the team is that good. Like, it's not that good. There's like good Mons that can carry it, like Goldango, Zapdos, Jugglers I think is very good. I think Arcanine has been pretty good in the matches we have brought it, because Arcanine is really good at fitting that niche role that I want it to be, you know, a specific typing or something like that. I think Ableton is a slight improvement on Toadstool. I don't think it's like an amazing improvement. I think it's slightly, just because I'm not as worried about certain stuff as I was before. Quagsire as a mon, I wish I would have been able to bring more often. Maybe it's just me that needs to bring Quagsire, but I just don't feel like Quagsire ever have a good matchup. And Azelf is kind of performing how I thought it would perform. Like, it gets a kill or two and then it dies, which is pretty much just what Azelf does. Like, it's just there, gets a kill, gets 2 kills sometimes, and then you just kind of die because you're frail as fuck. Yeah, we unfortunately take a loss against AaronTheBaron. Big GG to Aaron. As always, it's very fun playing. We played against each other a couple of times now, so it's always very fun. And he even offered if I wanted some help with what's it called, building and whatnot for the future, because I wouldn't say struggling, but I have been unfortunately getting some losses that are very minuscule, which means I can do something to prevent it often. Like, when you get a 0-1 loss like this, there's often something you could have done to prevent it, which in my case would have been to not give up my Galarian Zapdos that easily, because if I can get if I don't let Galarian Zapdos die, I have a very good matchup against Greninja and Landorus at the end, because I can just Brave Bird. I think I would have, if I remember correctly, I would have lit the Brave Bird on the Greninja into the Landorus, like I would have lived it exactly, I think. But yeah, it is what it is. As always, GG to my opponent, GG to Aaron. If you like the video, make sure to leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below, thought of the battle, and subscribe to the channel for future videos. I will now head out. Peace, YouTube.